They asked if I could share my testimony, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my testimony, try to encourage you guys. I'm going to take you back to 1996. At that time, I was 15 years old. And at that time, that was the first time that God heard my call. Is when they shut the door behind me when I was in juvenile hall. You know, see, I got locked up in juvenile hall when I was 15. And the night before that, my best friend, and I'm talking about my best friend, he stole a car. And at that time, you know, he had picked me up and we were smashing all night. The next morning, we were smashing again. And at that time, I already had dropped out of high school at 15. And the plan is that, you know, drop me off at school, then come pick me up afterwards. So that's what we did. When we were smashing around James Lick, and somebody called the cops and was saying, hey, these guys are joyriding out here. And we saw like 6 sheriffs, and we knew they were looking for us, so I dropped them off. And then on the way home, on White Road, the cop pulled me over, or tried to pull me over. He shined his lights and he told me to pull over. And at that time, when we was young, we was listening to music and videos. We was not going to pull over, not for police, no way. So I smashed, and he traced me. And right there on Capitol and Story, I pulled into the gas station. I don't know how fast I was going. I barely missed the tank. And I missed that. And there's a church right there. I don't know if you guys know. There's a church right there. There's a gas station in the back of it. There's a church. I almost crashed into it. And anyways, I hit the cop car with the stolen car I was driving. And so he pulled out his gun. And a lot of cops, those sheriffs that I saw, they came and they pulled me out the car. They cracked my head open. So in juvenile hall, I had sobered up, and I started thinking, like, hey, I got to change. What's going on, you know? And so I started to pray, and I started to think, well, when I get out, I'm gonna go to school. So that's what I did. But when I got out, I went to school. The same one that stole the car stole another car. See, I got off on house arrest, probation. I had community service. I had all that. And he picked me up at the 6th period, and we're in another stolen car. My other friend stole a car. We're driving down Ocala, and a cop again saw us. And there's another high-speed chase, and this time we was able to get away. They followed my other friend, and I was able to get away. And around 17 years old, I had met Corinne at Blockbuster. I got a job, and her mom invited me to church, and she would pick both of us up. And I was thugged out at that time. I don't know if you understand. I was really, you know, really deep in the streets with everybody. And she was like, I want to invite you to church. And she would pick me up and take me to church downtown, Family Life, with Pastor Mitch. She would come and she would take us. She would come and she would take us. She would come and she would take us. And I remembered at that time, the love of God was just overpowering everything that I was going through. And Pastor Mitch would come give me a hug, and Trina, and a lot of the leaders that are still here were coming up, Vivian. I remember all you guys. All that helped me, because one time, Pastor Mitch, he gave the altar call, and he said, you know, those who are not saved, you want to surrender. And I finally made up my mind around 18. I went for church for like a year. And I said, yeah, Lord, I want to surrender my life. And I realized it wasn't in my strength. See, when you give your life to God, it's no longer you doing it, it's God doing it. Right. So we need to depend on His strength. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're going to school. See, I went back to school. I don't know if you guys know that. I went back to school because God challenges us when we're saved. I dropped out of high school. I went back to school for 3.5 years, and I graduated cap and gown. I got my diploma because I realized, you know what I'm saying? I realized I'm raising 2 boys and 2 girls and one on the way, you know, and I got a beautiful wife, and they're looking up to me. You know what I'm saying? So God challenged me. So I went back to school. I graduated. I gave the speech. I went to college. You know what I'm saying? I went to college for a couple semesters. And, you know, 2010, I bought a house. And I came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my dad was hooked on heroin my whole life growing up. I didn't have a father figure in my life. You know what I'm saying? And then when I received Christ, he became my father. You know what I mean? And so I just want to encourage you guys, you know, just receive God into your life and do everything on His strength. You know, He'll put things in your heart. See, when I was stuck out with my homies, we was trying to rap, and some of my homies was pretty tight. You know what I mean? And I tried to spit too, and I couldn't spit one bar. It wasn't until after I got saved a week later, like a youth event just like this, it was over, and they had a DJ, had a microphone, And we all got in a circle, we passed it around, I started freestyling, it's been a rap since then. 14 years I've been rapping for God. I got 3 albums out on iTunes, a music video, and another one coming out. So, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You know what I'm saying? That's the scripture that I want to leave you with. We're going to go ahead and do the song.
All right, so up next is...
We have an awesome person who's just ready to lay it down. Let's welcome to the stage.
And he has like a whole posse of people coming up with him. So we got 180, we got s.i.c, we got Lady Garza, Just One, and Nicole's Shot. Yeah!
Come on!
Yeah, the song is called I Used to Bump Brother Lynch. Come on. Yeah. Check 1, 2. Yeah. Lady Garza, Nickel Shot. Just One. 180 the Bay Area. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. I used to bump Brother Lynch back in the day. Now I'm bumping Brother Ink when I'm mobbing through the bay. 84 Capri Chevrolet. I'm bumping Jesus music, screaming out, Jesus Christ is the way. I came from the gutter, raised by my grandmother. I know what it's like to come from a broken home. My father in the bathroom shooting up heroin. I was born and raised in all types of sick sin. The only thing that used to console me was tipping the 40 and chilling with my homies. I was high every day back in 94, running from the po-po in a stolen Thunderbird, bro. That's how I used to get down. Holy Ghost in my heart, now I'm heaven bound. God set me free back in 99. He can do the same for you if you let him in your heart and mind.
Giving God the glory,
Yeah.
telling you my story. This is my testimony. My God can save you.
Yes, he can.
Giving God the glory, telling you my story. This is my testimony. My God can save you.
Brother Lynch hung heavy low to the brain. Sick with it, records had me sipping hurricane. Everyday thing, hustling to make some change. I was on the grind, causing havoc, major pain. Adopted in this game, thugging at an early age. Anger in my heart, getting high to ease the rage. Total devastation, many clouds in the days. Getting chewy high, mixing cold with purple haze. Season of the sick, psychoactive shackled up. Till I heard him say, follow me, I'll lift you up. Wretched, filthy mess, nevertheless I've been redeemed. Off the crooked path, giving glory to the King. Blood fight, can't stop seeing 2020. Nail-driven kingdom living, preaching Christ to many. Take a look inside, watch the vision unfold. Trying to show the world this is how a Christian roll.
Giving God the glory, telling you my story. This is my testimony.
Come on.
My God can save you.
Yeah.
Giving God the glory, telling you my story. This is my testimony. My God can save you.
I came up Mac Gray in the boy mask. We all go the things, life took the test. Been against the rope, got high, easy trance. Outside 7 trees, that's where it all got started. We used to bump Brother Lynch, that's all we ever played. So much pain, wishing back better days. Had to change my life, homie, so my kids don't fall astray. They can hate it if they want, but with the Lord I'm gonna stay. Trying to reach a youth, cause the game ain't the same. With this music, God, I'm gonna remember my name. Filled with the spirit, I ain't got time for the lanes. You just suck a freak just like Rick James. In Christ we have a new